the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Authorities declare Omar Municipality as widow-free, marks milestone for peace in Sulu. Philippine and Australian armies launch Kasangga 2025-02 joint exercise in Capiz. DBM releases more than 716 million pesos to replenish DSWD disaster fund. FIVOC says Cebu earthquake aftershocks reach over 10,000.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Friday, October 10, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Air Force and Japan Air Self-Defense Force held two major joint operations in Tacloban City yesterday under the Doshin Bayanihan 05-25 exercise. They performed a low-cost, low-altitude airdrop using C-130 aircraft to boost interoperability and rapid response skills. The teams also airlifted over 800 boxes of drinking water to Lapu-Lapu City for ongoing humanitarian efforts. The exercise strengthened both nations' partnership in disaster response and regional security cooperation.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 3rd Infantry Division and the Australian Defence Force launched the Army-to-Army exercise Kasangga 2025-02 at Camp Peralta in Hamindan, Capiz. The month-long training aims to boost interoperability, tactical readiness, and camaraderie between the two allied forces. Hundreds of troops will conduct joint drills involving drones, boats, and coordinated mission planning. Officials said the exercise strengthens defense ties and reaffirms both nations' commitment to regional peace and security.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Shira about PMC wins bronze in 2025 Cambrian Patrol exercise in the UK.
Yes, good afternoon. The Philippine Marine Corps earned a bronze medal in the prestigious Cambrian Patrol exercise held in Brecon, Wales, United Kingdom. The elite competition organized by the British Army tested over 1,000 soldiers from 122 teams worldwide in endurance, tactics, and teamwork. The 8-man Marine team from the Force Reconnaissance Regiment showcased exceptional skill and resilience throughout the grueling event. Officials hailed the achievement as a testament to the Marines' discipline, global competitiveness, and unwavering commitment to excellence. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Shaira.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Four members of the Daula Islamia group surrendered to Joint Task Force Central in Radha, Buayan, Maguindanao del Sur, turn over several high-powered firearms. The surrender marked another milestone in the government's peace and reconciliation efforts in central Mindanao. Authorities also recovered 13 loose firearms under the Small Arms and Light Weapons Management Program. Military officials hailed the event as a sign of continuing progress toward lasting peace in the region.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The local Amnesty Board of Tacloban City conducted an amnesty orientation and application activity for former Communist terrorist group supporters at the 14th Infantry Battalion Headquarters in Mahaplag, Leyte. The event, supported by the Philippine Army, aimed to help participants process their amnesty applications. Volunteer lawyers assisted in interviews and documentation to ensure smooth applications. Officials said the initiative reinforces the government's peace and reconciliation efforts by guiding former insurgent supporters back into mainstream society.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let's hear the report of Mon about OCD Region 2, Philippine Navy deliver relief supplies to Calayan, Cagayan.
The Office of Civil Defense Region 2, in coordination with the Philippine Navy, facilitated the transport of vital relief goods to Calayan, Cagayan, October 8 to 9, 2025. Supplies were shipped aboard BRP Waray LC-288 to support disaster response and early recovery in the island municipality. The operation involved multiple agencies and local disaster offices. Officials said the mission highlights strong interagency cooperation in reaching geographically isolated and vulnerable communities. This is Mon reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mon.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The municipality of Omar was officially declared rido-free during a ceremony at the Omar Covered Court in Barangay Lahing-Lahing, Sulu yesterday. Local officials, security forces, and peace advocates joined the event to celebrate the peaceful resolution of long-standing clan feuds. The declaration followed the signing of a municipal resolution and a peace covenant, symbolizing unity and reconciliation. Leaders hailed the milestone as a model of cooperation and a step toward lasting peace and development in the province.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, Budget and Management Secretary Amena Pangandaman committed her full support to the government's fight against corruption. She also expressed readiness to meet with the Independent Commission for Infrastructure to help its officials understand the budget process. Pangandaman said the ICI's invitation is an indication of the ramped-up cooperation between oversight and implementing bodies. She vowed to provide the Commission with a comprehensive understanding of the national budget process and ensure that the ICI's exercise of its mandate aligns fully with prevailing statutes, jurisprudence, and administrative issuances.
Armed Forces Radio. Flash Report.
And for our flash report, a magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck Davao Oriental today. According to PIVOX, the epicenter was recorded 62 kilometers southeast of Manay, Davao Oriental. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for coastal areas along the eastern parts of Mindanao and the Visayas. Residents in coastal communities are advised to evacuate immediately and stay alert for further updates from authorities. Earlier, the PIVOX put the quake's magnitude at 7.6.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear more updates from Spencer about 89th IB completes annual physical exam to boost troop readiness. Go, Spencer.
Rofh, the 89th Infantry Battalion, successfully completed its mandatory annual physical examination at its headquarters in Maramag, Bukidnon, conducted with the 10th Infantry Division Station Hospital and 1.8 laboratories incorporated. The activity aimed to ensure soldiers' health and fitness. Troopers underwent comprehensive medical tests, including physical, laboratory, and mental health assessments. The initiative highlights the Philippine Army's commitment in maintaining a healthy and mission-ready force in Bukidnon and nearby areas. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer Ross.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Department of Budget and Management has approved the release of 716.15 million peso to the Department of Social Welfare and Development. This aims to replenish its quick response fund for disaster-hit communities. The DBM said the move is in line with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive for faster, more compassionate and relief operations. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman assured that the replenishment helps guarantee the DSWD can continue to provide food, shelter, and cash aid to families when they need it most.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Education has reinforced its disaster preparedness and response systems by tapping new tools and facilities aimed at strengthening education resilience. Education Secretary Sonny Angara said that as directed by President Bongbong Marcos, their focus is preparedness. They should also ensure that the schools can respond to protect learners and continue education before, during, and after any disaster. As response efforts continue in the wake of the 6.9 magnitude earthquake that struck Bogo City, Cebu, DepEd is also shifting its focus from rapid relief to long-term preparedness.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Jimboy, 62nd IB, and LGU distribute school supplies to over 1,700 students in Gihilgan City.
The Bravo Company of the 62nd Infantry Battalion joined the Gihulgan City Local Government Unit in distributing school supply to students in Negros Oriental. The activity benefited 1,731 students from 8 elementary and high school. The initiative aimed to support student education and inspire continued learning. Army troops also reaffirmed their commitment in protecting youth and fostering peace and development in local communities. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
The number of aftershocks following the magnitude 6.9 earthquake in Bogo City, Cebu reached 10,006 yesterday noon. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said 44 of these aftershocks were felt. The strength of the aftershocks ranged from magnitude 1 to 5. PHIVOX earlier said the frequency or number of aftershocks per day is decreasing.
DWDD National News.
Key transmission services in the Visayas grid are now back to normal conditions. This came after the magnitude 6.9 earthquake struck northern Cebu. The National Grid Corporation of the Philippines said the Compostela-Daan Bantayan 230 kilovolt line 1 was re-energized last October 7 and is now operating in parallel with the earlier restored line 2. It also said that the Daan Bantayan Tabango 230 kilovolt line 2, or the submarine cable that links Cebu and Leyte, was re-energized last October 3. And GCP said they are working round the clock to ensure the stability and normal grid operations in Visayas.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Ferdy about Marine Secure Zamboanga Hermosa Festival 2025 events.
Good day everyone. The 1st Marine Rifle Battalion conducted security operations to ensure the safety of participants during the Zamboanga Hermosa Festival yesterday. Marines provided area security at Plaza Pershing, Artilim Boulevard, and Paseo del Mar for major events including the Agri-Fishery Fair, Regatta de Zamboanga, and Wow Sardinas Lechon Festival. The unit also deployed personnel for crowd control at the daily cathedral procession and conducted canine paneling for added safety. Their efforts helped maintain peace and order, ensuring a safe and successful celebration for the public. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos said the government will continue working with the private sector to improve Filipinos' access to affordable medicines. This is by allowing licensed pharmacists to remotely supervise multiple pharmacies in undeserved areas. PBBM made the remarks after witnessing the ceremonial signing of a Memorandum of Understanding for the Regulatory Sandbox Pilot Program for flexible supervision of pharmacies. The program seeks to address a shortage of 27,500 registered pharmacists by tapping flexible supervision mechanisms like telepharmacy and video supervision. The pilot program will allow licensed pharmacists to remotely supervise multiple community pharmacies in underserved areas, expanding their reach without compromising safety and quality standards.
DWDD National News.
Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla may file cases with the Sandigan Bayan over the flood control scandal in the next few weeks. Remulla said the timeline of that still depends on the evidence. But they already have gathered a lot of evidence and they will make sure to complete everything properly as they don't want to be the cause of any delay. Remulla earlier took his oath as the new ombudsman before Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonen.
DWDD National News.
The Independent Commission for Infrastructure will not be limited to auditing and investigating the Department of Public Works and Highways and the reported anomalous flood control projects, and would soon also probe the infrastructure initiatives of other agencies. This is according to Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro. Castro said that if there are documents, they can be given to ICI immediately so that those who are concerned and involved can be summoned immediately for a faster investigation. She also added that all questionable infrastructure can be investigated by ICI. Earlier this week, Mamayang Liberal Party List Representative Leila De Lima filed a House resolution seeking a probe into supposed abuse and misappropriation of public funds under the Department of Health's Health Facilities Enhancement Program.
DWDD National News.
Malacanang dismissed renewed impeachment and ouster calls against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said that Chief Executive refuses to be sidetracked by baseless accusations and political theatrics, stressing that such noise will not derail their administration's reform and governance agenda. Castro said it's difficult to speak without evidence. Without evidence, she said it should not be believed. The remark came after Cavite Representative Kiko Barzaga Jr. accused the president of betrayal of public trust and urged the Filipinos to mount a people power movement to remove him from the office.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Health Caraga Region announced the release of licenses to operate to 6 more primary care facilities in the region. This brings the total number of licensed PCFs to 36. DOH 13 said the release of additional licenses to operate marks a significant advancement in strengthening the region's healthcare system and expanding access to quality primary healthcare services. The move is part of the government's continuing commitment to achieve the universal healthcare by promoting accessible, efficient, equitable health services for all the residents in the Caraga region.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again next week for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Committee News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.